Australia's a tipping culture. Over there, hospitality staff are often on just a couple of bucks an hour. Staff make up their wages with obligatory tips. Here, though, different story. Here's a tip. Aussies don't like tipping. New research shows when it comes to rewarding good service, Aussies just think the money we're forking out for grub and booze is usually enough.
If the service is bad, I would never tip even the most expensive restaurant.
Sometimes we've paid the bill and not even worried about it.
According to the study, 82% of us hate the concept. If we do tip, it's not much. And apparently most of us do everything we can to avoid the situation.
Australians can be a little bit tight. No, I don't think Australians are good tippers, to be honest.
Tourists are more open to tipping.
Yet we're the nation of foodies and booze hounds. Go figure. Now, the minimum wage in Australia is just $569 a week. After tax, that's just $470 take home. So while travelling Aussies are generous in countries where tipping tops up wages, it seems the ever-slaving dish pigs and grease monkeys here just have to put up with a nation of tight asses. And we cross to the author of this study, social researcher Mark McCrindle. Mark, are you telling our viewers that they're tight asses? I thought we were generous.
Well, Australians are generous in terms of getting behind a good cause and giving money, but not when it comes to tipping. 1 in 6 Australians only are regular tippers, and indeed the majority of Australians have never tipped more than $10 at a time.
Mark, I have to admit I'm not big on tipping. It's not that I'm tight. I just never know how much to tip, and the whole thing stresses me out. What are some of the other reasons that people, say for not tipping?
Well, in this survey, Australians were very strong on not wanting tipping to become entrenched like it is in America or Europe. We really want our employers to pay their wait staff properly and not rely on tips to subsidise those earnings. And we limited our tipping to exceptional service given in restaurants and cafes rather than it spreading everywhere, and for it to stand out rather than being just an obligation as it's become in so many countries.
Are we all as mean as each other, or there's actually a generous generation?
Actually, Generation Y are twice as likely to tip as the rest of the population. They've travelled a bit more, they've seen a bit more of the US culture, they're a bit more cosmopolitan, I guess, but they're also the most likely to give the lousy tips of less than $5.
Mark, you've given us some pretty negative information tonight, and I'm feeling like you're judgmental. What's the biggest tip you've ever given?
Well, I did tip Parramatta to win the Rugby League Grand Final. That's as successful as I got in my tipping, I think.
Thank you very much, Mark. You get an extra 15% for that.